Yo guys, what is going on? It's Burt Crown coming to the YouTube video, and today we are going to do Team of the Year takeaways or recapping Team of the Year. What I thought about it. Now, a couple of months ago, I said I wasn't going to build any Team of the Year cards. I did end up building one. That was Megan Keller, and the reason I built her is because of her fantasy card. Made the most sense. If she doesn't score anymore, maybe EA will upgrade the card later on somewhere down the road, and she's miles ahead of every other fantasy card. So I decided to turn her in for her Team of the Year. But with that being said, now that Team of the Year is done, how do I feel about the event as a whole, as how EA handled it? And I would love to hear you in the comment section on your thoughts, because EA did some new things this year when it comes to Team of the Year, and I'm kind of a big fan of it. I'm kind of a big fan of how they dealt with Team of the Year, and I would love to know what you guys thought. Let's get into it. I hope you do enjoy it. So I am going to start with probably the biggest thing about Team of the Year that I liked this year, and if going forward and we see this next year, I think is a huge win, and it's something that people can try to keep in the back of their minds. Now, obviously, every single year people save for Team of the Year, and they save and save and save to get themselves these cards here, and this one in particular card in Connor McDavid, because he's the best. He's absolutely the best. Now, what I feel like EA did right here is they didn't just have the top tier, most expensive cards, only the grinder or the money spender can get it. They also gave an MSP version or variant of Team of the Year. Now, why this is awesome is because your casual player could feel like they were getting in on the Team of the Year event and can get themselves a Connor McDavid that is very good. 95 speed Connor McDavid for 587s is a very good deal. And I think this was a great addition to Team of the Year. So no longer do you have to put all or nothing. Do you have to go all in, or you can't get any of the great cards? Yes, this Connor McDavid will not upgrade. And yes, he does not get free abilities. But he has 95 speed. This Connor McDavid with 95 speed and his shooting and his hands and his faceoffs, all this puts this MSP on your team until March, maybe longer, depending on how your team progresses. But if you can't build all of the Team of the Years, or forget all of them, if you can't build one of the Team of the Years, this gives you an option to build at least one of them by building out 587s. Now, another way to look at it, if you could build one full Connor McDavid, right? That's going to be 1587s. Instead of doing that, you could have gotten the 90 McDavid, the 90 McKinnon, the 90 McCarr in their MSP version, and then you wouldn't have had to, completely gutted your collection, or you could still participate with three of the most dominant cards without having to break the bank as a casual player. So this is something that I really did enjoy. This is something that when they brought this out, I didn't know how people were going to look at it or how people were going to take it. And now that I've had 2 weeks to look on it, I think the way they did the progression of these cards, where for 587s you can get 190 if you can't get all of the 87s needed. I think this was a really good way of doing it. I really do. It involved everybody in the community. It involved everybody that plays NHL Hut, and it was a great way to do it. And I hope this is something that they keep going forward, because maybe players won't think I got to save everything for Team of the Year, and I can participate in events before and after, and I could just get the 90 MSP. So I did like that. Secondly, the sets. I liked this. It gave you an ability to progress, and halfway through Team of the Year, they gave us these sets so you could turn in 9 cards for 3 instead of just turning in 3 for 1. Because at the start, it was just turn in 3 81s and you get yourself an 83. Now, them doing this is a big win. I hope they see this as something we liked and they keep this going. Something we've always wanted is, instead of just turning in 3 for 1, give us an option to turn in a ton at one time. And this was great, because now if you had 985s, you could turn them all in and get 387s instead of having to do it 3 times. Because when you got to build 1587s, that's a lot of sets. And at least giving it to us this way, instead of having to build it 15 times, now you only got to build it 5 times, right? So that's a significant improvement, and this is a huge takeaway for me when it came to Team of the Year and an addition that EA Sports made. Now, last year and a couple of previous years, EA has had a problem with repeated MSPs where they give us, we'll use Brian Leach because he's the meme of Hockey Ultimate Team in the last couple of years of just too many Brian Leach MSPs. But Brian Leach was always given an MSP, or people got stale on the fact that we had power-up icons and then they would give the power-up icons MSPs. Well, they still need to upgrade those cards. And they found a great way of doing that. And that was this way right here. By giving Team of the Year players base 90s to upgrade their power-up icons without affecting the MSPs. Now, it's not just Team of the Year. It's other events that we have seen that in. With Gallery of the Greats, they didn't affect the icons with the MSPs. Instead, they gave them base Gallery of the Greats cards to help boost up their icons and still give us different names as Gallery of the Great MSPs. I love the way they're doing that, and this was a great way of doing it, giving extra cards for Team of the Year, not just the 6 chase cards or 12 chase cards. So I did like that they kept giving additional cards through Team of the Year throughout the week, and also prospect Team of the Years, players coming to NHL. And that was a big win. I think they did a great job with Team of the Year for including everybody in the top tier cards, getting extra cards out there. The only thing with these cards, I wish they had given us a set, even just one set where you turn in so many cards or you turn in so many collectibles and you get a random 90 base card. I wish they had given us some way to get one of these cards other than buying packs are extremely expensive on the auction house. Now the recap is not all sunshines and roses and this is good and this is bad and that's great and this is yada yada yada. This one set here, this one pack here in the store, BND, I don't mind BND being in the game. I'm not the biggest fan of the way they're using it. I don't mind it if they use it right. And this is kind of a way of using it right. When Team of the Year first came out, the Team of the Year cards are about 1.3, 1.4 million coins. So getting a BND card for 1 million wasn't bad. And then they dropped a bunch of stuff where you could get 87s for a significantly cheap coin value. And that made it cheaper to get yourself a untradeable Team of the Year of who you wanted by just getting the 87s from the store pack. But that's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is this needed to be a choice pack of 4 cards and you pick one. The reason I say that is because 1 million coins is a massive investment for a BND, and there's a chance you could pull a player you don't want. So that deterred a lot of people. Maybe even if it was 2 or 3, right? A 1 of 3 pack or a 1 of 2 pack, at least give people a choice. And I think that would have been a great way to go because it's BND still, right? Like it's still bound. There's nothing they can do with it. So why not give them a choice of 1 or 2? I think that would have been a way better way of handling this pack in particular. Now, this is going to be something that I always think, and this is going to be something that I hope they do. Jerseys, logos, arena, something. Give us event stuff. Right? Gallery of the Greats should have had jerseys, logos, and arenas. Team of the Year should get jerseys, logos, and arenas. Some way that people could get different and more creative jerseys. And if Team of the Year had jerseys, you'd probably see people running them. And it could have been something simple as a black jersey with the gold Team of the Year logo on it. And then you have a gold jersey with the black Team of the Year logo on it. I think that could have been pretty sick. And then do it with every other event. It's something that gives people more options and more creativity with their team and their look and their design. And it just shows, participation in that event. And they could do something as simple as, here's the jerseys. If you play X amount of games with Team of the Year players, you get those jerseys or something silly like that. But I think jerseys should be in for the events. And it just shows off the event on the ice as well. And I think it could be fun. That is my recap on Team of the Year, guys. I truly do think the way they did the MSP breakdown this year was fantastic, where you can go and get the ultimate Team of the Year player or the MSP version of that player where you don't have to put so much of an investment in to include everybody. I think that's the biggest win and the biggest takeaway. Let me know in the comment section if that's how you feel. And that is my recap. I hope you did enjoy it, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. But till next time, ciao, ciao.